can I prepare my house for sale in just 7 weeks? If you're ready to sell your house but feeling overwhelmed by where to start, don't worry, I've got you covered. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, I'm walking you through a week-by-week plan that will help make your listing day stress-free and successful in just 7 weeks. Now, full disclosure, most folks take a good 3 to 6 months to prep their house for sale, but if you're willing to put in the work, it can be done much faster, and even less than 7 weeks. Let's dive in. Week 1, take inventory. What you're gonna do this week is walk through your entire home inside and out and take detailed notes, looking for repairs, outdated areas, or cosmetic updates that you've been putting off. This is also a good time to assess what needs decluttering too. And unless you're incredibly organized, this almost always takes folks way more time than they think it will, so don't put it off. Now, many people do this step on their own and they wait to contact a realtor until later. But if you have a realtor that you trust, I highly recommend bringing them in early. They walk through houses all the time with buyers, so they know what buyers will notice and be concerned about, and they'll likely notice things that you don't. Also, they should have a good idea of the best ROI, which means return on investment. If you plan to do a pre-sale inspection to minimize surprises, this first week is a great time to do that too. Almost all buyers will conduct full inspections, even if you decide to sell as is. So having thorough disclosures and getting a pre-sale inspection greatly minimizes your risk of a deal falling through due to something that you didn't even know about. Now, once you have your inventory list, if you aren't sure what to prioritize, ask yourself, what would I want to see if I were a buyer? Or check out my video on selling as is to see what's worth fixing and what you can leave as is. One resource that you could utilize that I'd be happy to share with you is my final walkthrough checklist. Now, this is a checklist available to buyers for their final walkthrough before closing, so it's not really meant for this inventory purpose, but you could totally use it and it would give you an idea of things that they're going to be noticing and looking for. If you want that, just comment, I want the checklist on this video, and I'll send you a link to fill out to get that PDF. Another thing to inventory during this week is your records on things like, what was the last time the roof or the windows or the HVAC were replaced? Do you have HVAC service records? What are major updates that you've made in the last 2 to 5 years? What's your average utility bills? Track down as much as you can. Buyers want to know this info, and it can help you or your realtor on pricing and marketing too. Just know that you can't add the updates and work that you've done dollar for dollar onto the price. Well, I mean, you could, but you'll likely overprice it if you do. The market anticipates that folks are going to be updating and maintaining their homes. So just because it cost you $10,000 to replace the carpet last year doesn't mean that your house is worth $10,000 more now, if that makes sense. A professional can help you with that for sure. I know I've walked through hundreds of homes in the last few years and helped many sellers like you, and I love sharing those insights and expertise that I've gained to empower you to make the best decisions regarding your next move. I hate seeing folks make mistakes and bad deals just because they didn't know something. So that's one of the reasons that I create content to inform and educate. And if that interests you, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe and comment on this video and let me know. Moving on to week number 2, decluttering like a pro. Week 2 is all about decluttering. Remember, less is more when it comes to selling your home. Buyers want to visualize their things in the space, and that's hard to do if every shelf and closet is packed to the brim. Start with one room at a time. Take a box for donations, one for items to pack away, and one for trash. For closets, aim to keep them only 50% full. Buyers will open them. You want to aim to remove about 50% of your stuff off the shelves, walls, counters, many times even more than 50%. And don't forget the garage, attic, and the basement. If you're stuck, my video, 7 Things to Clear Out When Selling Your Home, has great tips to jumpstart your decluttering process, and might go over some things that you didn't think about too. I also have a 2-part series on downsizing, which decluttering is certainly essential if you're doing that. So I'll link those in the descriptions as well. All right, week number 3, deep clean everything. Okay, now it's time to roll up your sleeves, or better yet, hire a pro and deep clean your home from top to bottom. Dust, vacuum, scrub every inch. Now you are gonna do another clean or touch up in week 7, but week 3 is about the deep clean. Under and inside appliances, baseboards, windows, window screens, garage floor. Wipe down inside and outside of the cupboards, under the sinks. If you have staining on the bathtub or the toilet, watch some YouTube videos on how to get those out. And don't forget that smells matter too. Steam clean the carpets, wash the curtains, and use neutral scents like fresh linen to keep the home inviting but not overwhelming. If you have pets, you need to think about how you're going to handle keeping the house pet hair and odor free for showings. Have your teenage boys do their laundry and pick up their gym shoes and dirty socks. If you often cook with garlic or curry or onions, or you like frying fish, you're going to want to avoid some of those strong, fragrant smells leading up to showings. I personally love those spicy food smells, but I have been with buyers who instantly rule houses out based on smell alone. Smoke is another big one. If anyone has or does smoke anything, cigarettes, pipes, cigars, these smells linger even if just on the porch or in the garage. So grab an ozone machine and some bleach and get that smell out before you go live on the market. And avoid smoking in or around the house from here on out. When it comes to smells, you don't want to rely on just your family. You need a neutral party who isn't afraid to tell you the truth to let you know how it smells. By the end of week 3, your home should sparkle and you'll be ready for staging in a few weeks. If you need help with staging ideas, my video How to Stage Your Home Yourself has great tips to make any space shine and really stand out for a buyer. Week number 4, make necessary repairs. Repairs are often the difference between a quick sale and buyers walking away. Start with small obvious fixes like leaky faucets, broken cabinet handles, or cracked caulking. Did your dog chew or scratch up the windowsill? Is the closet door off the hinge? Little things like that can add up in buyers' minds and make them wonder what else hasn't been kept up with. Next, focus on anything that could come up in a home inspection or did come up in the home inspection if you did a pre-sale inspection. For example, if you've been ignoring peeling paint or loose floorboards, now's the time to address those. Do you have GFCI protected outlets in the garage, laundry room, bathroom, kitchen, and outdoor outlets? How about your service line going to your meter box? Is it in good shape? Big scary items to buyers are if the HVAC is super old, if there's moisture anywhere or mold-like substances, a leaky roof or foundation cracks, plumbing or electric issues. Anything like that comes up and it makes sense to address it ahead of time, then do it. Otherwise, disclose, disclose, disclose. And buyers' offers should reflect already knowing about those issues instead of it being a surprise during their inspection. Sometimes it's worth making cosmetic updates like replacing a vanity top or flooring, and it almost always makes sense financially to paint, as that's a relatively inexpensive, but it does wonders for showing your home. If you're unsure what's worth fixing, check out the video that talks about selling as is and also return on investments. I'll link them in the description. Week 5, first curb appeal. The outside of your home sets the tone for buyers. Think fresh, clean, and welcoming. Start by mowing the lawn, trimming the hedges, and planting colorful flowers. If your front door is looking tired, a fresh coat of paint can really do wonders. Rotting wood should be replaced, but chipping paint on a deck might be worth addressing or not, depending on the presentation and the price point. You want to pay attention to details here. Clean the gutters, pressure wash the driveway and the siding, and replace worn out house numbers. Make sure that there aren't any cobwebs on the front porch or the patio. A welcoming porch with a nice mat and a couple of potted plants can really set the stage for a great first impression. When selling in the winter, it's a little harder to have great curb appeal. So fresh paint on the door and cleanliness, as well as some kind of welcome sign or mat or a little bench with some pillows or something simple to add a welcoming touch can help. Now I know this seems nitpicky, but you want your house to immediately say, this could be the one, to potential buyers, instead of them looking right away and thinking this is going to be a lot of work. Week 6, stage and photography. We are so close now. This week is all about staging and showcasing your home in its best light. Arrange furniture to make rooms feel spacious and inviting. Fresh flowers, neutral decor, and cozy touches can make a big difference. Staging also helps draw the eye to what you want it to be drawn to and away from being too critical of little flaws. Now, putting a painting over a hole in the wall is questionable unless you disclose that it's there, but putting a painting and decor on a blank wall can draw the eye away from little cracks or the old ceiling or stained baseboard or uneven walls. Every house has its little flaws that are cosmetic, and when a house is vacant, buyers tend to see every little thing wrong, where with just a minimal amount of tasteful, simple decor, it can vastly change the feel and perception of a room. If you're hiring a photographer or your realtor is providing one, you want to make sure that they specialize in real estate photography and have them include a floor plan as well. That's super helpful to buyers, and it ensures that only buyers who your space would work for will be coming through. High quality photos can get more buyers through the door and boost your chances of a quick sale. Now, there is some disagreement on this point, but I would caution you against using virtual staging or a lot of virtual cleanup. Photo editors these days can make windows look sparkly clean, even if they're super splotchy. They can light a fire in a fireplace that isn't even functional, and using wide-angle lenses can make the space look much larger than it is. This can be helpful in getting buyers in the door, but the last thing that you want is buyers coming in and being disappointed, thinking that the pictures look way better than it does in person. You want a high-quality photographer, one who knows how to have proper lighting and good angles, but you do want it to look realistic as well. The buyer will be actually walking through the house, and it's much better for them them to be thinking, wow, this looks just as good or better than the pictures, than being disappointed. I've had buyers walk in the doors and walk right back out because it's obvious that the pictures were very different from reality. And now for a bonus tip. If you happen to be buying and selling at the same time, there are two key things to consider before you go live with your current house. First is if you're planning to use a HELOC or a home equity line of credit to make improvements or access your equity for a down payment on your next home, you want to close on that HELOC before you list, or at least start the process now. Second, consider hiring the same agent for both buying and selling. Coordinating both transactions can be complex, and having one person oversee everything can make the process smoother. Plus, some agents, myself included, may offer discounts on commission or throw in extras like a deep cleaning or staging when working on two transactions at the same time. I go more into detail about buying and selling at the same time in this video. I'll link it in the description too. All right, week 7, final prep before listing. This is it, the home stretch. This week, focus on those last little details that make a big difference. Replace burnt out light bulbs, fluff pillows, and add small touches like fresh towels in the bathroom or a colorful throw on the couch. Have a game plan for pets and kids' toys for last minute showing requests. Make sure everything is clean before each showing. Turn on the lights, especially bathrooms and kitchens. Yes, buyers will look inside the oven and the refrigerator. Buyers will turn on faucets and flush toilets and open garage doors. They will want to make sure that everything works as it should. You can add little sticky notes if any explanations are needed or warnings are needed. And you can also have your agent add any special instructions in the agent notes, like if there's a trick to opening or closing something, or where to find the crawl space entry, or where the electric panel is if those things aren't obvious. Double check that your home smells fresh and inviting, no strong perfumes or food or pet or gym odors. If everything's looking perfect and smelling good, you're ready for listing day. And there you have it, a step-by-step guide to getting your house ready for sale in just 7 weeks. If you want tips on picking the best deal when offers start rolling in, or if your house has already been on the market for a while without selling, check out these videos next. As always, feel free to reach out if you're thinking about selling your home. My name is Lydia Rowe, and I can help you anywhere in the Miami Valley of Ohio and surrounding Dayton area. I'd love to help make your experience as smooth and profitable as possible. If you're outside my area and still want my help, just fill out the referral page. I'll link it in the description, and I'll put you in touch with a fantastic professional in your neck of the woods. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.